Right now, at 6 students at PSU can expect to pay more for their education.
And at least a few of us getting some showers out there. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies to start the day. It's going to be hot as we head into the afternoon. The latest on that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
Plus, the Peoria Tribe breaks ground on low-rent housing in Miami, Oklahoma.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's a finally Friday in the 4 states, and it's going to be a hot Friday in the 4 states.
It's going to be a hot one. It went from being rainy every single weekend to being super hot every single weekend, it feels like.
Yeah, summer officially started yesterday, but it's felt like it for a while. And of course, as we just mentioned, today's National Bring Your Pet to Work Day. Probably a good idea so they can at least be indoors where it's cool and still having a little fun as well instead of being lonely and tearing up your furniture and tear up the office's furniture.
And a good excuse for the pup to get some more pets, or your cat if you bring your cat to work as well, or your fish.
Whatever you might bring with you, whatever it is you're going to bring with you. Today's a good day to do it. Let's start with a look outside from our camera on top of the Cornell complex in downtown Joplin. And as you can see, we've got some partly to mostly cloudy skies out there. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line giving us that same view as we get the day underway. And then the Skywatch Storm Tracker showing us something that is mysterious and confusing because we haven't seen it in quite some time. It's rain. Take a look at this little guy now southwest of Miami. Getting ready to roll into western Ottawa County. A little shower down southwest of Veneta, getting ready to roll into Craig County. Back into southeast Kansas, we got a little shower just on the north side of Weir, south of Pitt. And this guy, he's been hauling a little bit faster. He's now into Bourbon County, continuing to lift off to the north and to the west. So probably will miss Nevada just to the northwest. But at least we're seeing some activity out there. Now this one, actually, if you look on the loop, it looks like he's starting to turn back to the north. So that's the thing with pop-up showers and storms is there's not something triggering them. So they kind of do whatever they want to do. They're not part of a frontal boundary or some other system that's going to move them a certain way. They're just going to kind of be out there. As we look at the future track, the isolated shower or pop-up storm still a chance as we head into the afternoon, as it has been for the last several days. This morning's the first time that we've actually seen something come from that. Otherwise, we are partly cloudy and hot. Temperatures this morning, it's already toasty, and it's quite muggy as well. Temperatures for most of us upper 70s out there, and it will continue to heat up as we head through today with our highs going into the low 90s. Partly cloudy skies, again, maybe a stray shower or storm, and our heat index values easily approaching 100 degrees, so you've got to make sure that you're taking care of yourself out there. That's a quick check of your forecast. We're going to go in detail on just how hot it's going to get and if there's any relief on the way here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon. Well, Jasper County authorities are investigating a shooting that sent one man to the hospital. It happened Wednesday in the area of Sunrise Lane near Webb City. Police say 33-year-old Dennis Sanchez Cortez has a non-life-threatening gunshot wound. Investigators say they've identified the shooter, who is cooperating with law enforcement. They say their preliminary investigation indicates the shot was fired in self-defense. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, attending Penn State is getting more expensive. The Kansas Board of Regents approved a tuition and fee increase of 3.5% for undergraduates. That comes out to an additional $107 per semester. Earlier this year, the school announced the Great Gorilla Scholarship Program, which awards up to $4,000 per year for up to 4 years. The Peoria Tribe Housing Authority breaks ground yesterday for 15 new low-income houses in Miami, Oklahoma. The groundbreaking comes after the Housing Authority received a $3 million grant from the federal government. Construction will begin in the coming months on 8 single-bedroom homes and 7 two-bedroom homes. Every house will also have a carport and storm shelter.
We're in a great community. So in our county, we've got 9 federally recognized tribes based right here. And so while today it's us breaking ground on this project, we know that all of our tribal neighbors are going to be bringing support in their different arenas, just like we are in this one. And so we know that with the strength and the support of the tribes here in Miami, it's a bright future for the city of Miami.
There are also plans for a play area to be built alongside the houses. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump are gearing up for a historic showdown. Plus, millions of Americans are still under heat advisories across the country. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Friday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Ewart Park for National Skateboarding Day. Topping Nation Watch this morning, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump are gearing up for a historic showdown. The debate qualification window closed just after midnight Eastern Time Thursday, with only Biden and Trump making the cut. Julia Benbrook takes a look at the razor-thin race just 1 week out from the candidates' first face-off this election season.
Political rivals, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump, are scheduled to step on to CNN's debate stage next Thursday. It's the first debate in U.S. history between a sitting president and a former president.
Is anybody going to watch the debate? He's going to be so pumped up. He's going to be pumped up. I'll be debating 3 people instead of one half of a person.
Only Biden and Trump met the debate requirements set by the network, which included constitutional, polling, and ballot qualification thresholds. A lot is on the line for both candidates.
What do you think you need to accomplish on that debate stage?
Say what I think. Let him say what he thinks. The things he said are off the wall.
The two remain locked in a close race. A national poll published by Fox News on Wednesday shows Biden leading Trump by 2 points. It's a 3-point improvement for Biden over last month's Fox News poll, where Trump led by 1 point. Some experts say Trump's recent criminal conviction could be a factor.
Trump is a convicted felon now, which he wasn't a few months ago, and independent voters really don't like that in their president.
President Biden does have a slight advantage with some of those swing voters. Now, granted, we're 5 months ahead. Those numbers are going to constantly change.
The debate could be a defining moment in a presidential race that's solidified earlier than usual and features 2 universally known candidates. Reporting in Washington, I'm Julia Benbrook.
For home buyers, mortgage rates fell for the 3rd straight week to their lowest level in almost 3 months. Freddie Mac reported Thursday the standard 30-year fixed-rate mortgage averaged 6.87% for the week ending June 20th. That's down from last week's 6.95% average and down from a 2024 peak of 7.22%. Still, mortgage rates remain higher than anything seen in the decade before 2022. That's the year the Federal Reserve began to raise interest rates to combat inflation. Former President Donald Trump advisor Steve Bannon is set to start his 4-month prison sentence next month. Yesterday, a federal appeals court rejected his bid to delay it. A jury found Bannon guilty of contempt 2 years ago for not complying with a subpoena for an interview with the House's January 6th investigation. Bannon's trial judge initially paused his prison sentence for his appeal to play out. A recent decision by the D.C. Circuit upheld his conviction. Then earlier this month, the Justice Department requested to lift that hold on Bannon's sentence, and a federal judge ruled Bannon must turn himself in by July 1st to begin his 4-month sentence. It is likely Bannon will seek the intervention of the Supreme Court. For now, he is expected to report to a low-security federal prison in Danbury, Connecticut. Well, summer is off to a sweltering start, and today tens of millions of Americans are under heat advisories across the country. In some cities, the temperature could feel like triple digits, making for a potentially dangerous Friday. CBS's Jared Hill has more from New York.
Packed pools and splash pads as people and pets tried to find relief from a record-breaking heat wave on the first official day of summer.
This past week it's been rough, but we're really happy that we live so close to a splash pad.
No relief for the sweaty at this beach in Burlington, Vermont. Instead, disappointment. The water blocked off because of dangerous algae blooms triggered by the warmer waters.
I was going to come down and cool off.
The National Weather Service predicts that cities from the Midwest to the Mid-Atlantic will set more heat records today. Visitors to the nation's capital say they're taking precautions as they brave the heat.
I've got my shorts, I've got my sunglasses, the shade. I'm good.
People are urged to stay inside of air-conditioned buildings and cooling centers like this one during peak daylight hours.
I'm lucky I can come here and cool off.
In New Jersey, a hot day got even hotter after a brush fire broke out, causing major delays for Amtrak passengers stuck on sweltering trains for over an hour. For some around the country, though, the rise in temperatures is causing a different kind of pain on wallets.
They may have AC, but they don't want to turn it on because they don't feel like they have the means to pay for their utility bills.
With potentially more record-breaking temps to come. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
The U.S. Energy Information Administration, which is under the Department of Energy, is forecasting that household electricity bills from June through August will average $173 per month. That's about a 3% higher than the same period last year. The agency says the cost increase is based on predictions that energy consumption will rise in the hot summer months. And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got another hot day across the area. Skywatch Storm Tracker, though, this morning showing a few showers, even a couple of thunderstorms out there. These will remain isolated, and they'll continue to work through the area, and we'll have that chance for some isolated showers and storms through the day, those pop-up storms again. We'll have a full look at your forecast, tell you how hot it's going to get, and when we might see some relief when we come back.
Well, movie news and more now. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
I am the keeper of a greater magic. The Force? No, the Schwartz.
Get ready for more Spaceballs. Multiple outlets report a sequel to Mel Brooks' 1987 sci-fi spoof is in the works. Josh Gad is set to star and is producing the follow-up with Brooks. The Celine Dion Foundation has pledged $2 million to the University of Colorado to establish an endowed chair in autoimmune neurology. The announcement came at the premiere of I Am Celine Dion, streaming on Prime Video June 25th, in which the superstar singer shares her struggles with the autoimmune neurological disorder stiff person syndrome.
It's the principle of pain. We shouldn't have to pay for train tickets in Poland. This is our country.
No, it's not. It was our country. They kicked us out because they thought we were cheap.
The first teaser trailer is out for A Real Pain, starring Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin as very different cousins who reunite for a trip to Poland to honor their grandmother. Eisenberg wrote and directed A Real Pain, which opens in theaters October 18th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, a pair of unlikely animal rescues will have you saying wow and awe. Patrick Cornell has them for you in today's. Take a look at this.
It pays to make friends. Just ask this raccoon. When a trio of friends gathered for their normal Friday night festivities, they didn't expect to befriend a claw-footed critter they call Rocket.
Initially, when it come up, it was acting a little skittish. You know, it kind of arched its back up like it was ready to attack, and we were keeping our distance from it. And then after a little while, it grew comfortable with us, and it was just kind of roaming around all over the yard.
A few minutes later, the little guy was doing what trash pandas do best, roaming in the garbage, when it got into trouble. And what happened next is a raccoon rescue that's gone viral.
I'm like, man, it looks like it's choking. So I went back behind it, and I started, doing what I was taught to try to save someone from choking.
With some coaching, Bill eventually got the cheese dislodged.
Oh, there it is.
Rocket hasn't been by since, but the group hopes he'll turn their Friday night trio into a quartet. A truck driver in Ohio was doing a pre-trip inspection of his semi when he found a fluffy stowaway stuck between the wheels. Faced with mission impossible, he called and helped to free the purring passenger. With the assistance of the Ohio State Highway Patrol and a truck lift, the man removed the massive tires and caught that curious kitten. With a catastrophe avoided, the kitten was put in the safe hands of the Portage Animal Protective League. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
Glad to see that kitten was able to be rescued. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, it's going to be another hot one today. A couple isolated showers or storms possible as well. We'll have another complete look at your forecast when we come back. And welcome back to the KOAM Morning News 622 on this Friday morning. We're starting with the Skywatch Storm Tracker. We got some showers right along this little boundary here, and some of them a little heavier where you can see the reds. They're not very big, so not everyone's getting rain, but at least we're seeing some. This cell just to the west of Miami is beginning to turn north. On the last couple of loops of the Skywatch Storm Tracker. We got this little guy on the southeast side of Pittsburgh. Again, some moderate rainfall in there. He's not very big, but there's still some, and some showers into Barton County. These have just been kind of trying to flare up, and this is pop-up storm activity. This is pop-up shower activity. Just an odd time of the day for it. There's a bit more of the pop-up showers out to our west. Unfortunately, we're not really going to get in on too much action, but the future track does still paint the possibility for some pop-up showers or thunderstorms as we head through the afternoon. But again, this morning, now we actually have something to show you on the Skywatch Storm Tracker. You kind of get an idea as to what these look like. They're not very big. They don't have a very big coverage area, and therefore most of us, unfortunately, will remain dry and hot as we go through today. We'll go start clearing out a bit by the evening, then we cloud up again overnight. We'll clear out by tomorrow, and again, maybe a stray shower, but most of us, again, as you can see, dry out there. Sunday, though, Sunday morning, we have the chance of at least a couple of thunderstorms. This activity, again, it's limited. It looks to remain along and east of the I-49 corridor from, say, 2 a.m. to about 7 a.m., where we could see a couple of thunderstorms out there. Outside of that, though, again, unfortunately, not much going on. It won't be until the middle of next week that we see something that will actually mean something for us. So we'll get to that here in a moment. First, that UV index is an 11. It is extreme. Burn time is less than 10 minutes for unprotected skin, so make sure you're taking precautions. Minor, moderate, and even some splotches of major heat risk out there. So again, the minor, we're talking heat index values 90 to 95. This moderate is 95 to 100. And this is, the major is 100 to 105 degree heat index values. By tomorrow, more of that major, moderate overspreading the area. By Sunday, major overspreading most of the area. And then as we head into Monday and Tuesday, we see extreme. And extreme is why we are concerned for the potential for dangerous, if not deadly heat if you're not taking precautions, because the extreme is heat index values that are going to exceed 105. Some of them by early next week could even reach up to 110. Quick look at temperatures. You can see some of those little showers out there. 76, south breeze at 10 miles an hour. Temperatures this morning, we do have some cooled off a bit actually out here. It was a little warmer, Monette, Cassville, down to the upper 60s. Most of us, though, into the mid, even upper 70s still here at 6:25 in the morning. Partly cloudy skies to get our day underway, and again, a couple of pop-up showers or storms. Mid 80s out there, ahead of highs today into the low 90s. Tomorrow, low 90s again, so those heat index values, as you saw on the heat risk graphic, will begin to increase. Some of those thunderstorms Sunday, and then we've got 95, upper 90s Monday and Tuesday. That's where those extremes were showing up on the heat risk map, where those heat index values could reach up to 110 degrees. But then we've got a system. Late Tuesday, it's going to bring us a slightly better chance for some more widespread thunderstorm activity, and the best thing that it does is that for Wednesday and Thursday, it drops our temperatures a little bit. I didn't get that far on the heat risk tracker, but we fall into the minor risk across most of the area for Wednesday and Thursday. Unfortunately, as you can see, we heat back up a bit as we head into Friday and Saturday with some more pop-up storms next Saturday and Sunday. That's Check Your Forecast. Now here's Elise with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, new research has pinpointed a possible genetic root for some types of obesity. Scientists at the University of Exeter found a genetic variety that caused people to expend less energy when at rest, resulting in a higher body weight. Lifestyle and environmental factors can also contribute to obesity, but the scientists say this discovery could lead to new medical treatments. Well, living to 100 may depend on making healthy lifestyle choices even in your later years. Scientists in China studied thousands of people over the age of 80, and they found that those who had higher lifestyle scores, factoring in things like exercise, diet, and smoking habits, were significantly more likely to become centurions. A study published in JAMA Network Open suggests healthy choices matter no matter your age. And new data on infants born during the pandemic suggests the stressful environment for their mothers may have impacted their brain development. The study published in JAMA Network Open finds maternal psychological distress during the pandemic is associated with lower brain volume in newborns. Scientists say more research is needed on potential long-term impacts. The Surgeon General wants a warning label on social media apps, and one city school system just moved toward banning cell phones. But these plans take time, and kids are out on summer break now. Karen Kefa is in Washington with a look at how families can strike a safe balance on screen time.
School is out, and Dr. Michael Rich, founder of the Digital Wellness Lab at Boston Children's Hospital, wants to bring back boredom.
So we fill it with what ifs and dreams and let's do this, as opposed to defaulting to a screen and basically giving over our attention and our mind to someone else.
There's been a lot of conversation this week about children and screen time.
Yes.
On Tuesday, the board of the Los Angeles Unified School District voted in favor of a ban on cell phones during the school day, effective January 2025. And in a New York Times op-ed Monday, U.S. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy proposed social media apps have warning labels like alcohol and cigarettes.
If we can come together, have each other's backs, and make a pact that put in place these rules for our families, it's easier for us, it's also easier for our kids.
Stephen Balcom, founder and CEO of the Family Online Safety Institute, says he'd like Congress to act on online privacy and safety and for tech companies to be more responsible. But for now, households should make rules.
And realize and factor in downtime and, screen-free zones in the house like the bedroom or the dining room table, screen-free time zones like dinner, like mealtime.
Balcom and Dr. Michael Rich say parents can lead by example and put down their devices too.
Let's remember how precious this time is with these kids. They're not going to be this age forever. Let's enjoy them.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kefa.
Now to look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, we'll learn tips from the Better Business Bureau on how to protect older adults from scams.
And it's going to be another hot one out there. Got a few showers this morning and some pop-up showers and storms possible once again. We'll have a look at your forecast to get you out the door coming up.
Plus, folks flock to downtown Joplin again for another third Thursday.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:32. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's a finally Friday in the 4 states. We celebrate every Friday because every Friday means that, tomorrow's the weekend.
Nothing to complain about there.
No, there's a Rebecca Black song that counts down each of the days. Right. Thursday, Friday,
just
Saturday,
in case you're confused,
and Sunday.
Yeah, she sets you straight.
Yeah, she will get the days in order for you. Sometimes when you're waking up, you haven't had your coffee yet, it's difficult to keep track of what's coming up.
Got to get down on Friday. So.
You do, and you'll probably want to get down indoors. You do not want to go to an outdoor dance event at all because it is going to be way too hot. Let's start with this. It's a look at our camera on the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. Got some clouds out there, mostly cloudy skies to start the day, and it's not keeping us any cooler. And we can see those clouds also from the camera at 32nd and Range Line from MoDOT there. Clouds because, there's some showers. The Skywatch Storm Tracker, we've got more of them out to our west. Some of these are starting to work into our far western counties, but we've got a few other little showers. We got this guy that's lifting northeast now, so getting into the far northwestern corner of Ottawa County, the northeastern corner of Craig County. A few showers still down near Veneta as well. And we've had some little there we go. I think the batteries are dying in this. We've got this little guy that's now moving to the east of Pittsburgh, and we've got the shower here that's south of Drywood in southern Vernon County as well. So not a lot out there, but this is a great example. We talk about pop-up showers and storms. This is what they look like. Sometimes they can get a little bigger than that, but they don't get very big, and they don't cover a very large area either. So that's what we're expecting. Future Track still showing that that's a possibility as we... Shannon Becker is in the studio, and I think somebody just broke something. All right, well, the good news is we're getting it back together, so that's important. But we could have a few pop-up showers, a couple of thunderstorms out there. Again, most of us, though, will remain dry and hot, as if it wasn't hot enough for some of us already. Now, Monette, Cassville, you're lucky. You fell back into the upper 60s. The rest of us, as you can see, mid and even upper 70s. Some of us close to 80 degrees out there this morning already. And it's going to be low 90s, heat index values easily reaching 100 degrees today. We'll have partly cloudy skies, again, with the possibility of a stray shower or pop-up thunderstorm here and there. Unfortunately, it's going to get much hotter before it gets better. We're going to break down the details in your full forecast a little later. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, Kansas Governor Laura Kelly announced yesterday that $57 million will head to Dodge City to invest in an upgrade to its existing water treatment process and infrastructure. The plan is to strengthen the process of discharging treated wastewater into the Arkansas River stream bed. From there, it will head into the Ogallala Aquifer and provide additional groundwater at the city's existing well sites. Once complete, 1.3 billion gallons of recycled water is expected to be available annually. Well, good news for area travelers. The new US 166 400 expressway is now open to traffic from Baxter Springs east and south to the Kansas-Missouri border. It's 4 lanes, but eastbound traffic is restricted to 1 lane until the placement of pavement markings is complete. Well, the Better Business Bureau is recognizing Alzheimer's Awareness Month with tips to prevent scams against older adults with Alzheimer's and dementia. We spoke with the Bureau's regional director, who says those diseases can impact a person's ability to recognize the signs of a scam, making them more susceptible.
Scam awareness is a complex function, so if someone has memory or cognition impairment, it can really be challenging to identify scams. And there's a growing body of research that says difficulty making financial decisions and not being able to identify scams could be a very early warning sign of Alzheimer's disease.
A study in 2022 found there may be a link between early stage Alzheimer's and a person's willingness to give money to a stranger. Folks flocked to downtown Joplin again yesterday for Third Thursday. This month's theme is You Belong Celebration. As always, the event featured local artists, vendors, live music, and plenty of food.
Yes, and we want people to know that even the people who are moving here and people who have been here, we want you to know that we will celebrate you and not tolerate you.
There's a difference.
There's a difference, and yes, and it takes all of us to make it work, and we just want people to know that we do see you, we appreciate you for who you are, and we just want to celebrate you for being you and all your uniqueness.
Next month's Third Thursday lands on July 18th. The theme for that one is Downtown Waterfest. Well, a big day for some students in McDonald County yesterday. The construction class unveiled the completion of its first ever tiny house. The tiny house, measuring 12 feet by 24 feet, features a cozy living area, a fully equipped kitchen, custom cabinetry, a modern bathroom, washer and dryer hookups, and 2 loft areas. The class plans to auction off the tiny house, with all proceeds set to support the continuation of this educational program. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. If it's Friday, you know what that means. We've got Shannon Becker live in studio to help us close out the week with his big 3 news stories. And we have a hot and cloudy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Ewart Park for National Skateboarding Day. Well, welcome back. We've got Shannon Becker in the studio with his big 3 news stories of the week. Good morning to you. Happy Friday, Shannon.
Hey, first day of summer today, right?
Yesterday, but it's the first Friday of summer, so it's kind of the same thing.
I thought it was the 21st always.
I did too.
But it kind of goes back and forth like every 12 hours. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the big 3 stories this week. What's happening where you live? The 7 Brew. A lot of people are excited about this in Webb City. 7
I'm excited.
Brew. Yeah, there's actually, I think this makes like the 4th kind of coffee shop all together there. But statistics say when you see 2 coffee shops there, you don't say, do I want coffee? You say, which coffee place do I want?
Oh, interesting.
Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like, so you move to a place of purchasing when you see more than one choice. This is at 14th and Madison, exactly right across the street from the Starbucks, which opened up there about 18 months ago. They're actually also looking for applications right now. They say $15 to $20 an hour with tips. So,
there you go.
Our number 2 story, KOAM News Now. What's happening where you live? Dramatic fire after a crash just outside of Stella last Saturday. There were 8 people involved in this crash. So a pickup truck attempted to pass on a curve and then swerved off to the left, and then the oncoming minivan swerved off to the right, so they collided there on the side of the road. Actually, 2 people were flown for medical care, and then the others by ground ambulance. I believe 1 person is still in the hospital, serious injuries.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Our number 1 story, Joplin News First. This 2 people shot. That's a shot as I was driving to this, I guess you call it incident. It was at 18th and Annie Baxter the other evening. 2 people shot, rushed to an area hospital. They are serious condition but stable still after suffering multiple gunshot wounds. Joplin police received information that a person of interest was at 1515 West 20th Street. Now, when they started to say come out of the house, this gentleman came out early. Like, he came out before even the SWAT truck pulled up.
Oh, really?
So a lot of people thought, oh, nobody came out of the house. Well, there was no one else in the house but him. He is now charged formally with armed criminal action and other felony complaints as well. It's someone that we've known before. More details on our news tab at KOAM News Now. And then our bonus story of the week. This is bizarre. You've heard of people robbing a pharmacy. This happened in Rolla just the other day. A man known to police robbed a pharmacy demanding pills, not money.
Wow.
And then he shot one of the employees.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, fled in a vehicle. Happened at Sink's Pharmacy right in the middle of town on 10th Street. As he fled, officers were arriving. This is video from one of our friends that sent it to us. He filmed that right down there on 10th Street by his house. Police did a maneuver, knocked him off the road, and arrested without incident. No officers were harmed. Serious injuries of that employee that was shot. And also just the desperation. I can't believe that.
Right.
I mean, I understand, you know, people have problems with pills and stuff, but to go inside a pharmacy and actually shoot someone is just,
absolutely.
very, very bizarre.
Right.
Brazen, I guess you could kind of say.
Certainly.
But no officers were hurt, and the gentleman is recovering in a Columbia hospital after he was life flighted. So.
Wonderful. Well, Shannon, thank you so much for being with us this morning, and of course, thank you for all that you do. Stick around. We're back with more right after this.
All right, time for some Friday birthdays in the 4 states, and we've got, Amaya Berry celebrating birthday number 2. A very happy birthday to you, Amaya.
And over in Humboldt, a happy 3rd birthday to Hayes Geffert.
And in Weir, Samantha Dietz celebrating birthday number 17. Happy birthday, Samantha.
And Madison Nagel also celebrating a birthday today in Pittsburgh, turning 23. It says, will be a 3rd-year med school student in July. Happy birthday, Madison, with love from your family.
And Jaden Baugh in Carthage celebrating birthday number 25. A very happy birthday to you, Jaden.
And over in Columbus, a happy 70th birthday to John Castle. It says happy birthday from the crew.
And also in Columbus, Barbara Jones celebrating another year wiser. Happy birthday, Barbara.
And a happy birthday to Diane DePlew over in Frontenac.
And a very special birthday here. That on the right side is an extremely young Shannon Becker. And this is his mom, Anna Beckham, celebrating a birthday today. So very happy birthday to you, Anna. And boy, you know, I don't know what we would do without Shannon, so we are very grateful for you.
Absolutely. Happy birthday, Anna. And over in Jasper, a happy 21st birthday to Chad and Candace Harris.
It's an anniversary.
Did I say
You said birthday.
Well,
you
happy
said
anniversary.
birthday.
I'm sorry. I can't
It's
read
Friday.
today. It's Friday.
Birthdays.
And happy birthday if we forget it too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Might as well
Got you all
celebrate now,
covered.
right?
Happy anniversary.
Well, we've got another anniversary also in Frontenac for Karen and Scott Holland, their 39th year of wedded bliss. A very happy anniversary to the Holland family.
And happy 44th anniversary over in Lamar to Brad and Rhonda Overstreet. It says we're still having fun and you're still the one, says Rhonda.
That is a fantastic song. I love that song, and that is a fantastic way to celebrate an anniversary. We also have Bethany Gordon celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday, Bethany.
And a happy 37th anniversary to Kirby and Brenda Honeycutt.
And last but not least, our neighbor in Crestline, Oasis Wade, celebrating birthday number 14. That was a fantastic list of birthdays and anniversaries.
Yes, indeed.
If you would like to celebrate with us, Lisa has details on what you need to know.
Go ahead and submit your birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. When you submit, be sure to include the month and day just so we make sure that we're celebrating it on the right day, and to, of course, meet the deadline that you see there at the bottom of your screen.
And, of course, make sure you include a date on your birthday. We only want to mention this because it's come up a few times here lately. That way we know what day it needs to air, because if we don't have a date, then we presume that it's for the next day. So just make sure you do include that date if you're sending them a little early, because there's nothing wrong with getting a head start. If you're like me, you'll forget. But if you do get a head start, just make sure you include a date on there as well. All right, let's start with this. This is the Skywatch Storm Tracker. We've got a few pop-up showers out there, and we've got a slightly heavier shower northwest of Miami. It's been very slowly moving north-northeast, and will be crossing into Cherokee County. A couple of stray showers around the Veneta area, and we had some showers here, but they have since fizzled out. That's the problem with pop-up showers, is they get going for a minute and then they die out. But out to our west, a few more, at least a couple of them, might try and work into parts of southeastern Kansas this morning. But this is it. But this is when we mention pop-up showers and storms. This is what we're talking about. This is what they look like. You'll get some. Sometimes they'll get a little bigger, like this guy tried to do. And then they die, and as you can see, they're not widespread by any means, so not everybody ends up getting something, but at least a few people do, and that's going to be the case for us through today. Future tracks showing that we do have that possibility of a few pop-up showers or thunderstorms out there. Otherwise, again, most of us simply dry and hot. As we head into our Saturday, temperatures continue to climb. We'll see more low to mid-90s out there. Then by Sunday morning, at least along and east of I-49 at this point, a few thunderstorms possible. So about 2 a.m. could see some out there, and we could see a few more redevelop around 6, 7 o'clock. Again, unfortunately confined to southwest Missouri, but at least these are some slightly more organized thunderstorms, might bring a little more useful rainfall. Outside of that, it's going to be another hot one for our Sunday. Our UV index today, again, is at an 11. That is extreme, so burn time for unprotected skin, less than 10 minutes. So you got to make sure you're taking precautions out there. In terms of our heat risk, we still have some minor out there, but seeing a lot more moderate and even patches of major. So minors, heat index values 90 to 95. The moderate is going to be that 95 to 100 range, and major, unfortunately, is that 100 to 105 range. By tomorrow, we see more moderate and more major in our western counties. By Sunday, that major spreading over a broader portion of the area. And as we head into Monday and Tuesday, we start to see extreme on this map. And extreme is heat index values exceeding 105 degrees, and we could see them push 110 next week. week because it is going to get very hot. However, we have a system Tuesday night that once it rolls through, it actually will kick our temperatures down for a couple of days and reduce that heat risk significantly, but unfortunately that will be short-lived. So again, make sure you're taking precautions out there. Quick look outside. You can see the clouds from some of those showers out there. 76 in Joplin. It's been dry. South breeze at 10. And we've got, again, a very warm start. Save Cassville, Monette. You guys are in the upper 60s. The rest of us hanging out still in the mid and even upper 70s. As we get our day underway, partly cloudy skies, a stray shower, pop-up storm possible. Again, most of us dry. Mid-80s by 11 o'clock this morning. Welcome to look at your forecast and talk about how hot it's going to get and what happens with our cool down next week here in just a moment. And when we switch over to Fox 14 at 7, there are many different thoughts on how to make a pizza, but one school in London insists that their way is the only way.
Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Jasper County authorities are investigating a shooting that sent one man to the hospital on Wednesday near Webb City. Investigators say they've identified the shooter, who has been cooperating with law enforcement. Preliminary investigation indicates the shot was fired in self-defense. The Kansas Board of Regents approved a tuition and fee increase of 3.5% for undergraduates attending Pitt State. That comes out to an additional $170 per semester. Earlier this year, the school announced the Great Gorilla Scholarship Program, which awards up to $4,000 per year for up to 4 years. The Peoria Tribe Housing Authority broke ground yesterday for 15 new low-income houses in Miami, Oklahoma. This comes after the Housing Authority received a $3 million grant from the federal government. 8 single-bedroom homes and 7 two-bedroom homes will be constructed. Construction will begin in the coming months. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And we've got another hot one today. Temperatures low 90s, heat index values easily approaching 100. Partly cloudy skies, and again, maybe a pop-up shower or storm, kind of like what we're seeing this morning. They'll be isolated, but maybe somebody will get some rain. Partly cloudy through the evening, mostly cloudy overnight, back in the low to mid 70s. As we head into the weekend, we'll start to really heat up Monday, Tuesday. It's why we have that extreme on the heat risk map. Heat index values Monday and Tuesday could easily reach 110 with highs near 100. Then we've got that system Tuesday evening, brings us some showers and storms, cools us off for a couple of days before it heats up again by next Friday.
Alrighty. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making German potato salad in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. You might know him from Netflix's Stranger Things. Coming up on CBS Mornings, actor Joseph Quinn is in studio to talk about his role in the highly anticipated new movie, A Quiet Place, Day One.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, we'll have an in-depth look at what it's like to train as an Olympic athlete.
Plus, our very own Shannon Becker back in the studio to talk about his big 3 news stories of the week. However, that is going to wrap us up now for this Finally Friday. We'll see you back here Monday morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.